You forgot something today. Maybe a name, maybe a number, maybe where you put your keys. You pulled out your phone. You searched, you found it. Now ask yourself a different question. What did you do before phones existed? What did humans do before writing existed? Before paper? Before ink? Before any way to store a single word outside the human brain? How did an entire civilization remember anything? The answer is stranger than you think, and it reveals something about your brain that nobody told you in school. Ancient Greece, 500 BCE. A poet named Simonides of Chios was attending a banquet. He stepped outside for a moment. The roof collapsed. Everyone inside was killed instantly. The bodies were so badly crushed that no one could identify them. Simonides closed his eyes and walked through the building in his mind, table by table, seat by seat. He remembered exactly where every person had been sitting, every single one, not because he had exceptional memory, but because he was using a technique so powerful that the Greeks built their entire civilization on it. They called it the method of loci. We call it the memory palace. Here's how it worked. You take a place you know perfectly, your home, a temple, a road you walk every day. Then you place the things you need to remember inside that place, not as words or numbers, but as images, vivid, strange, impossible to forget. A Roman orator who needed to remember a 1,000-word speech didn't write a single note. He walked through his house, in his mind. Each room held a different argument, each doorway a different fact. When he stood before the Senate, he didn't read, he walked. This is where the phrase, "in the first place," comes from. Literally, the first place in the memory palace. We still say it today, 2,000 years later, with no idea where it came from. But not every civilization built memory palaces. Some built something older, something that predates architecture itself, story. Before writing existed, every piece of knowledge a civilization possessed lived inside a human voice. Laws, history, medicine, religion, all of it stored in stories. But not random stories. Stories with a specific structure, rhythm, repetition, pattern. The Iliad, Homer's epic poem about the Trojan War, is 15,000 lines long, sung from memory by performers who had never seen a single written word. Because rhythm isn't decoration, rhythm is a memory tool. Your brain holds on to patterns far longer than it holds on to facts. This is why you still remember the lyrics to a song you haven't heard in 10 years, but forgot what you had for breakfast. Ancient humans didn't discover this by accident. They engineered it deliberately. Every story, every song, every myth was a filing system for a civilization that had no paper. And then there were the Aboriginal Australians. For over 65,000 years, the longest continuous civilization in human history, they navigated a continent the size of Europe without maps, without compasses, and without a single written word. They used songlines. Every significant location, a water source, a dangerous cliff, a sacred site, was embedded inside a song. The melody followed the landscape. Walk in the right direction while singing the right song, and the song itself would guide you there. A musical GPS system built 65,000 years before satellites existed. So how did ancient humans remember things? They built palaces in their minds, encoded knowledge into rhythm and story, and turned entire landscapes into songs. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Their memories were almost certainly better than yours, not because their brains were different, but because they had no choice but to use them. Every piece of knowledge they needed to survive had to live inside a human mind, with no cloud storage, no search engine, no notes app, just the astonishing, underestimated machine inside your skull. Which raises the question nobody wants to ask. What have we forgotten by learning how to write things down?